Business Podcast, creating harmony within your business with easy to implement tips and real life business stories. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Tune in each week as Jane connects with local legends of Dorset in Season 2, bringing you the most up-to-date and easy to implement business tips in the health and wellness industry. Plus, we dive deep into therapies, courses, retreats and real-life business stories happening locally. Each session includes a guided meditation hosted by Jane or one of her special guests. Here's your host, Jane Scanlon. Hello and welcome to the Harmony Business Podcast. And today we are interviewing Mark Masters, who believes that we have the ability to build our own spaces for people to feel part of. So since 2013, Mark has demonstrated with You Are the Media how people and businesses can build their own loyal audience and grow from that. He did it by building a community from zero to what he's got right now. And You Are the Media is a marketing learning community with a focus on how to be self-sufficient, taking out the middleman and sidestepping those algorithms. Thank you so much for joining us.
Good to be here, Jane. Good to be here.
Now, your energy is massive. Do you think that helps with being online and kind of getting your business out there?
Yeah, massively. It's not a front. It's not it's not some manufactured thing. It's just it's who I am. And I guess it's this. When you can make something, we can build something, and you're responsible for it. And we're seeing what's working now with You Are the Media. It is an absolute privilege. So it's lucky to be able to do this. That's what fills me with joy. That's what fills me with enthusiasm. So seeing you and everybody else at Create today, it's not something that's put on for a day. It's how I roll. It's great. And I'd rather do it. I'd rather we were all like that, where we believe in what we do. And we're fortunate enough to do it without trying to put on a front. I spent many years, Jane, with trying to be a prim. There has to be a prim and proper way of conducting business. Yeah, I would try and bowl you over with big words, but really, it didn't really do anything. So the more we can be ourselves, the better we can be, and that's just who I am.
Brilliant, and I'm pleased that there are more businesses out there doing that, because there's too many. We're always putting on too many masks, right? Unmask yourself. Be as weird as you possibly can.
Yeah.
Just be yourself.
It is. We can't. Do you know what? We can still get a serious message across. But how we can be, we can lean into the quirks, these ways that we've always behaved. But we can, and the reason that we do it and we can let our guard down is when people trust us. We can still get a serious message across, but still do it in an upbeat way. It's just that as long as our message and what we share is clear and people understand it, that's what makes everything so much easier. It just took me, Jane, many years to realize it.
Well, tell us about those many years. So how did you get started in your field to like where we are today?
Yeah. So You Are the Media, let's pick up the focus of You Are the Media. So You Are the Media started in a really dark place in 2013. And so it's been going for over 10 years. So where it started wasn't good. I am from an old ad agency background, lived in London for years. So that was my industry learning. But I was realizing I was spending lots of money. Maybe we all do, spending lots of money on Facebook ads, spending lots of money on SEO, spending lots of money on advertising and being seen online. And it had happened during a time where I was feeling the pinch off the back of the last recession. I had some clients that were that put me in a tough place. I took on a lot of bad debt. And so when you're left with nothing, it's how you learn how to be resourceful over having resources. So I started the newsletter in October 2013. So 10 years later, the newsletter is still the mainstay of everything about you or the media. Where I started, it was generic marketing rhetoric, because that was just to find my voice. Today, as you highlighted at the beginning, everything that I share is all around how we as small businesses can be self-sufficient promoting ourselves and our businesses. It just feels so much easier when you have people around you. So I started off with me, and I wanted to get a message across around this idea of that we can build, and where it is today has become a community. This community of people that stand for something, that believe in something, and rally around each other and support each other. Because it can be a really lonely place, Jane, when we're fighting our corner all the time.
Yeah.
And so and that's where the support comes from. That's where we're there to motivate and to give each other a lift and to feel accountable with the work that we're doing. So it started 10 years ago, and it was me and an idea, and this whole thing of longevity, and just to keep going and to have it. Do you know what, Jane? And it takes ages. As long as we're prepared to pull up a seat at the table and to do the work, over time we can see the return from it. I've just lived the life where I've shared it all. Where things haven't worked, and I just realized I built this scrapbook over the years that can say this didn't work here, so we can now look back on it. The work that I do, the work that we do, is how we're effectively creating for our old selves. So everything that we write, everything that we share, I'm basically creating for myself 18 months ago. So we can all do that. It's how we learn. It's how we grow, and how we make these iterations and shape what we do.
Definitely. And when did the Creator Day drop into We Are the Media?
Yes. Yeah. So You Are the Media is made up of, so we have a newsletter, a Thursday newsletter. We have live events, events in Bristol, Bath, and locally in Poole. And we also have membership. We have a membership called the You Are the Media Club. And we also have the main Creator Day event. And Creator Day, and so we've been doing stuff. We started a conference at Shelley Theatre over in Boscombe in 2018. We did that 2018, 2019. Then we had the pandemic, and we slowly come together in 2022, but people were quite reticent about heading out again. But 2022, we had our first Creator Day. I wanted to do something, right? Where it wasn't going to a conference or an event, Jane, where you sat there and passively learned from 9:30 till 5:30. We can't do that.
Yeah.
It's draining. So we found a way. Here's the big thing. Why can't we be around people? If we're in that space with other people with a shared same mindset, why can't we do this together and find ways to work together and do things together and connect with other better? So we started in 2022, and we made these little changes to where we are now. It started, there was 80 of us in 2022 because we were slightly unsure about going out.
Yeah.
And then where we are for April 25th, 24. So we're over 200 people there. So it's this kind of ongoing growth that goes with it. I have a cap. I know what the amount of people is, and it's growing and it's building. It's great.
Nice. And I'm super excited. And I saw one of your posts that basically said that you wanted more events like this, our neck of the wood, instead of traveling up to like Middle England or London, basically. And that's where all of the other kind of business seminars and big events I've been to have been. And it was fine when I lived in London. But since living down in Southbourne, it's such a trek. And I was so excited to hear that we had something local.
Yeah, that's great. And it is that. I mean, I am from Poole. Poole is home. And we've always lived in the shadow of even Bournemouth, I would say. But where I live here is that my belief in that how we can create reputable UK events where we don't always have to go to the larger cities around the UK. I was at one recently as well in that, but that's fine because it's central location, places to get to. Getting down to where we live is a faff. But here's the thing. If you can make that space so good that people know that they are going to be around others where they feel welcome. And I tell you this, Jane, it means the world when I see someone that's booking. We've got people traveling from around the UK. There are more people traveling from around the UK, if I'm being honest, than there are on the doorstep. But that means
It's
a lot when
amazing.
someone's traveling down from the Midlands and further afield, because they're putting that commitment in to head down. So it's our duty. You know, it's like all of us when we live down here. Well, by living down here, it's like when they are down here, particularly being in my home in Poole, it's like, you know, you have the park down the road and we have the sea and we go sea swimming on a Friday morning. So you really lean into everything. Where everything I do is how we treat where we live down here as a playground. So we can show to the rest of the country, look, this is what we're doing, everyone. Why can't you join in? And we just have these main events to join, these annual events to join in. Creator Day is an annual event. This once that we've even got the date for 2025. So it happens April, May or May each year, and that's the little bat signal that you put out to bring the country in. Yeah. I don't want to I don't want to be paying over the roof. I've seen the prices it is for London and how expensive it is, and I'd rather find somewhere and work hard so you're not putting that price for these expensive venues onto people to attend.
Yeah, definitely. And I love how you're really building cushioning around the day. So you're inviting people on the Friday morning sea dip after Creator Day. What other kind of buffers have you got?
Yeah.
Is there something on the Wednesday night?
Yeah, it's really important. So it's easy to say, yeah, you can do your networking at the beginning and the break, but how can you find ways? This is the whole thing. How can you find ways that people can say hello? Because when you go into a venue at 9 a.m. on a Thursday morning, there's hundreds of people. It's quite like, whoa. So what we do is this. We do this. So those little buffers, as you said. On the Wednesday, the day before, we have an event at Foundry in Poole. And so what we have there is an event called Failed Nights, just for the attendees. Failed Nights is about people to share when life and work didn't go according to plan. So 10-minute short presentations, but it's there as a way for people to say hello and good to see you, and you can have a drink and something to eat. And so you do that. So you create this sense of warmth and feeling settled. So when you come into the space for Creator Day, people are familiar. And then what we're doing at the end. So again, rather than say, right, bye everyone, see you later. What are we doing now? We're going anywhere? I don't know, because organizers don't think about once an event has finished, it's finished. You've banked the money, you move on. But why can't you kind of think, well, if you're all here, this moment in time, let's make the most of it. We've hired there's a really nice pizza restaurant on the quay called Pie Pizza. So we've got that for people to go upstairs. And then, as you mentioned, on the Friday, we started it back in July 2021. And we go in the sea every morning. I have a beach at Sandbanks that I've had since I was a kid. So we go down there, and then all the because people that are going into the sea for the first time, it's awful. But I do it. But it's, as you'd imagine, bless the people that say, I'm going in. I am doing it. But if you haven't done it, it's still cold.
Yeah, it's 8 degrees, but it'd be lovely. I'm a sea dipper myself for the last 3 years.
The buzz that you get from it is really nice. But going in there is still horrible. I mean, we do it every week. It's horrible.
Yes, some days it is definitely horrible. So what's the best bit of business advice, Mark?
My best thing, okay, if you have to tell me, is that we always have to choose ourselves. And I've always lived this. It's always like being at school. And I never got in the school teams, or maybe in life that we didn't get the job that we wanted. My best piece of advice is to acknowledge that no one is ever going to pick us. No one's ever going to choose us, Jane. So we have to choose ourselves. That just so happens what I did here. No one picked me to talk at an event. No one ever asked me to talk at an event. So I made one myself so I can invite people down. And so that's the biggest thing that I've learned. If that was my biggest advice to my younger self, is that we should pick ourselves always.
I love that. That is a nice bit of deep advice.
Thank you.
Yes. So tell us more about Creator Day. Are there tickets still available?
Yeah, they're still about. So where we have it in the theatre at the Lighthouse, so it's in the room where the pantomime is there, the theatre there. So the capacity of the place is 500. So where we are is just over 200. I have a goal of 250, 300, no more. I don't want people when you're moving bigger and bigger, it's easy to get lost in the numbers. We want to talk, we want to get to know one another rather than just be lost in the crowd. So there's still places left. So we got a busy schedule that starts. People arrive from 9, start from 9:30, and it's going to be a mix of. We have 7 presentations during the day. Coming back to what I said earlier, you can't sit and listen all day to people going continuing for the whole day until 5:30. We're going to officially finish in the theatre around about 3 p.m. And then we are put into our own teams. So you're going to be put in your own team. And in that team that you are going to create something. So the idea is we're not going to make on the day, but we're going to create something in it. It could be a LinkedIn post. It could be a story behind a photo. It could be even a strap line that you want to check that's on your social bio or something like that. Or it's wanted to share something that you haven't done. Could even be doing a video, a little hello video. It's doing the things that we haven't normally done or that we always put off because we feel a bit nervous, or it's a step into the unknown. If you can do that with other people, a small group of people around you, this is how other people motivate you to do it. It's how you feel accountable. It's how other people can give you that momentum to say, yeah, I can do it. So we do that from around 3. It's not a huge part of the day, but we tend to finish around about 3:45, 4. Can I tell you some good new things that we're doing?
Oh, of course you can.
Because when you come into the theatre, so we got live music as well. So not in the theatre, but outside. Oh, we got a grand piano on the theatre as well. I'll show you more about that in a minute. But we have the local college. So the local college is their music students. So we're inviting the music students in. So when it's lunchtime and there's little orchestral or acoustic music that's playing.
Oh my gosh, this is awesome.
And then at the end we bring out this big photo booth. It's like a big photo booth and everybody's there. One of my dreams is people to stay. Rather than it finishes, we all go. So we have a photo booth there to have photos of each other. And then there'd be like more live music playing, a bit more noisier, DJ and that kind of thing. So that's this whole idea is that when you step in, you've made that commitment for the day. Let's make sure that it's the highlight, one of the highlights of the year, to make sure that everyone that's committed to create a day. It's my duty to make sure that you come into it, Jane. It's like you leave that and you think, wow, I enjoyed that. And that's my promise to you.
Yeah, it's an event. There's entertainment. It's like you've weaved everything in there, which, like you say, many business events are quite dry and you're expected to sit there for quite a long period of time. And I think those days are done, aren't they? So it's fantastic that
we did a survey a couple of years ago when we started to come back in the room again after COVID. The big thing that stops us going to events, I learned a lot from this, from a survey. It wasn't about cost. It wasn't about being around lots of people. It was around the biggest thing that stops us going to events is time, right? So we know we have time back. So no one needs to listen. No one needs to go. You don't need to go to this. You can do your work and the priorities during the day, and then you can watch Netflix. You can watch Prince Andrew thing on telly. You can do that because you've done your work. But which is why that investment that you're making has to be worth everybody's while. And that's why we have to, when it comes to organize events, we have to kind of lift it. We have to move it. We have to lift it up a notch because people have time back. It's easier to stay at home. It's easier to do the work. It's easier to just do an event online. Whereas we know that everything is on another level when you are around people, the conversations that you have, the things that progress afterwards. And do you know what? More importantly, it's just this fact of being around other people. You know that you enjoyed yourself and you took away something new that you can apply to your business. There's this whole mix that goes into it. Entertainment, it's education, and it's just the importance of being around others. I don't want people to be lonely. I don't want people to feel left out, Jane. I want people to know when they step in. Somebody said to me last week, I'm really nervous. I feel really nervous coming because there's lots of people, there's lots of conversations. I'm not that type of person that will interrupt or something. I said, okay. So what we're doing now is that we've assigned 5 chief hello officers. So these are people wearing pink t-shirts.
Yeah.
And they will, if someone just goes up to them, they know that they're going to be given a warm hello, a little chat. And if it means to join another conversation, because it's a big step for many people. I understand it's nervous, Jake. But that's not so bad, really, to be nervous. I understand it's not too bad to be nervous. It means we're ready, and it means we're stepping into something we haven't necessarily done for quite a while.
Slightly outside the comfort zone, or like you say, something that you may not have done in a while. I mean, and I don't know about the listeners, but I always get a little bit nervous now when I go out or go to networking events or events in general, and it's that kind of nervous excitedness, like what's going to happen, like how is this going to change my life?
It's good, and it's good because the easy way, Jane, is to just do the work. Just do our work. And I work at a co-working space, Foundry in Paul. When I went there and it opened last year, I felt guilty for talking to people because I thought I should be working, should be doing stuff. You think, wow, is this what we've become?
Yes.
We don't want to become robots that are the slave for the stuff that we're doing. I know we need to pay the mortgage, we need to do the work, but we also need to know as well and acknowledge that it feels good when we're around other people. And if that does serve a purpose, whether that's feeling a part of a community, whether that's learning, or whether it's an attachment to a theme of an event that you're going to, it really does heighten the importance of joining in and being involved.
Yeah, definitely. I think the whole lockdown definitely showed us that get in that community, because you don't know. We never predicted any of that craziness. So get in the community, be part of the community, because you don't know when you're going to need them and when somebody's going to need you.
I agree. Massive. That's a very important point now. That's the whole thing with all this. And the way that I've applied all this is that you build the space before you need it. When the world went dark a couple of years ago, there happened to be a community there. We created Zoom shows every Thursday. But I realized that the first time in my life, everything that we're doing is that it's the importance to build it before we need it.
Yeah.
And then when we do, we know that we're doing it for the right reason, or we start something that we cannot stop that links to our business endeavors. When the time comes when we need to reach out, I'm reaching out to people to come to Creator Day. I don't want you, listen, I won't want you coming to an event. It's like, great, good to see you, Jane. You'd be like, oh, there's 50 odd people there. That's great, but I don't want that. I don't want that. It's taken years to get to a place where you ask people, or you put it on where people tell each other. How did you find out about it? How did you find out?
I met you at a networking event, and I had never been to that event. Michelle Haslam. Yeah.
Bless Michelle.
And I'd never been there, and I thought, I saw the event and I thought, right, I need to get to that networking. I need to get to that networking event. And then you were speaking. And that's how, because I'm on Facebook, you're on LinkedIn. I'm never on LinkedIn. I need to get over there. But yeah, that's how everything got connected.
It's great. And do you know what? It means a lot. And I really appreciate that. And just shows as well, isn't it? This ability. Do you know what? Related to what we're talking about today, it's the importance of getting out there, isn't it?
Yeah.
If I hadn't gone out there, or Michelle said, can you talk? Or whatever, or something else was coming up while I was busy, we would have never have come. And what we're talking about here is the importance of stepping out, of saying yes and doing things that we wouldn't normally do. Michelle said, would I talk? Yeah, fine. I just had to put something together, which resulted to you think, yeah, that was quite good. And then to find out a bit more, and then, yeah, you're a part of what's just around the corner. And I really appreciate that. Thank you.
Definitely. My absolute pleasure. I'm very excited. So, how can people book on Create a Day? How can they connect with you?
Yeah, so it's createaday.uk. And if you missed this year, that's absolutely fine. So you might as well get a first as well, Jane, that we have next year already booked. So it's going to be the 15th of July, 2025. So back at the Lighthouse. So we have the schedule already. It's crazy. I've already got
I love
speakers
it.
already
That's
booked for next.
organisation.
It blimmin' well is. So come to createaday.uk. That's all there. Or if not, I send a newsletter every Thursday morning called You Are the Media. And if you come to youarethemedia.co.uk, you'll see the little prompt there that will ask you if you'd like to get subscribed to get the Thursday newsletter.
Fantastic. I am really, really looking forward to next week. And I will definitely come on Harmony Business Academy podcast and be telling them all about what happened at Create a Day.
Thanks. Oh, it'd be
Thank
amazing.
you so much, Mark.
Thank you, Jane.
The Harmony Business Podcast, creating harmony within your business with easy to implement tips and real life business stories. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Tune in each week as Jane connects with local legends of Dorset in Season 2, bringing you the most up-to-date and easy to implement business tips in the health and wellness industry. Plus, we dive deep into therapies, courses, retreats and real life business stories happening locally. Each session includes a guided meditation hosted by Jane or one of her special guests. And hello, we are sliding down a gear into the meditation session. We are going to be tuning in to our leadership series, meditation series, and we're going to be cultivating joyfulness in our lives with this guided meditation. So sit comfortably in a quiet place where you're free from distractions and let your spine be natural and tall. Rest your hands in your lap or on your thighs in a way that promotes a release of your shoulders and an expansion of your chest. So, what does joyfulness actually mean to you? And how does your belly, chest, and head feel when you reflect on this topic? Does it trigger or promote any emotions? And do any positive or negative impact stories show up in your mind? Let's see what bringing increased awareness around this topic will do to your day-to-day life. So I invite you to close your eyes or keep your gaze soft and low and turn your attention inwards. Breathe slowly and steadily in and out through your nose. And find a quiet, patient and easy, comfortable breath. Watch the breath move in and out through your nose. In and out. In and out. And invite joy into your practice by silently contemplating your why. Joyful effort arises when we understand our purpose. Why meditate? Why practice mindfulness? What benefits do you hope to receive? By understanding intention and why you are prioritizing your practice, the effort in practicing becomes imbued with joy and ease. Recall why you are here. Right now, meditating today. Allow a deep satisfaction to arise. As you apply effort in this moment joyfully, breathing the joy in and any stresses out. And then, with your why in your mind, cultivate joyful effort by shifting your awareness to the benefits you've already received through this practice of mindfulness and meditation. Recall how good you feel on the days you meditate. What it feels like to start the day mindfully. And the pride you feel in remaining still and present until the timer goes off or the bell rings. With an inhale of the breath, sit up a little taller as you rest in joy. Joy of the benefits of mindfulness and meditation. Count the ways in which your life has improved, with mindfulness as your refuge. Breathing deeply in and fully exhaling. Cultivate joyful effort by placing your attention on the positive sensations you're aware of right now. Calm, quiet, ease, spaciousness, patience, awareness. Notice all the ways of being here, right now, brings you joy. Feel these positive sensations in your body and in the breath. Recognize that these positive qualities do not appear accidentally. They are a direct result of your effort. Rejoice in the effort that you're applying to your meditation and mindfulness practice right here and right now. Rejoice in that effort and rest in awareness of the joyful benefits you're receiving. Breathing in the joy and exhaling anything that no longer serves you. Understand that while joy is a result of your practice, joy arises when we joyfully practice. Joy is only revealed through consistently applying effort. Joy is revealed through joyful practice. Joy is both the cause and the result. Breathing joy in, exhaling all that no longer serves us. So joy then must have been within you all along. Joy is not gained through practice, but revealed. The more you tap into joy, the more you apply joy to your effort, the more you experience joy as a result. The more you notice joy arising. You have always had the potential to be joyful. You have always had the potential to notice, to be mindful. You are joy. You are awareness. Rest in the sensation of joy. The joy you apply to your efforts here, and the joy you reveal through those same efforts. Rest in joy until you are ready to open your eyes. My name is Jane Scanlon, and it's been a joy to take you and guide you through this mindful meditation. Please like and subscribe to our channel and check out the offerings below.